welcome to another edition of Taylor NewsBreak. I'm your host, Carl Zymak, and today we're going to discuss Taylor Golf with Golf Director Alec Grant. The city of Taylor has two Arthur Hills designed courses, the Lakes of Taylor and Taylor Meadows. Both are extremely busy in the warm weather months, which we're headed right into. And welcome back to the show, Alec. We were comparing notes. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's good to be back and talk about the golf courses. This is easy for me. I love talking golf. So,
Alec, you have a lot of events upcoming, including the junior camp, the city championship, night golf, and new this year, the Superintendent's Revenge Tournament. Tell us a little bit about Taylor Golf's busy schedule and what golfers should look for headed into the summer months.
So yeah, those are our in-house hosted events, but we also host tons of, we'll call them outside events where charity scrambles, things like that. But we just started the night golf a couple years ago. That's been a huge success and a lot of fun, fills up very quick. City Championship has been something that's been a staple at the courses for years, where you get to play Taylor Meadows on day one, Lakes of Taylor on day two, set the course up pretty difficult and make a good test for Taylor, well really it's Wayne County residents and sometimes beyond, but we get a good showing for that. And the Superintendent's Revenge Tournament is something new this year we're really excited about. Basically, the superintendents, it's a way for them to get back at the golfers' revenge tournament, right? So they set the golf course up in as difficult a fashion as they're, you play the course as you see it, but it's up to the superintendents to set the course up and make it as difficult as possible on the golfers that day. So that'd be late in the fall, and we're really looking forward to that event and letting the guys put their twist on the setup. And you just, again, you play the hole as you see it, and you might play from different tee box, cross fairways, things like that. But it'll be both courses on the same day, and we've challenged the two guys to go, okay, who can set the golf course up more difficult on that day? So they're looking forward to it. And it's more their idea than anything else to, hey, this is something that's common at other courses. But again, we're really looking forward to it, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
You guys actually, once you set a course up in a difficult manner, okay, for a given tournament, do you guys go out and play it to see how difficult it really is?
So I'll be involved with the setup and just to kind of get an idea of what they're planning, and being able to communicate to the golfers some of the rules and changes, and putting a sheet together to guide them on the course. But I'll likely end up playing in that because I'm really looking forward to it. But the difficulty is you only get to pick lakes or meadows on that day. Maybe I probably won't have that opportunity, but yeah, I'll have to decide what course I want to play for the day. And again, it'd just be more fun when you're scoring it after to hear the stories between the guys of what they did to hole 7 at Lakes or whatever the case is, how they made this hole so difficult, and a little banter between the two superintendents to say, hey, I won that battle. Taylor Meadows was more difficult, or Lakes of Taylor was more difficult on that day, so it'll be fun.
When you guys are in season, how many people do you employ at Taylor Golf?
I think at any given time we have 140 employees. That's kind of our max number.
Okay, alrighty. And are you guys always looking for help? I know it's been hard for different departments in the city to find help. It's a difficult hiring period or era. Do you guys have the same problem, or do people just love to come back and work Taylor Golf?
Well, to your point, so we're always looking for people. We're looking for good staff. I would say basically year-round. I mean, we do have a shoulder season, but to your point, we do have, we look at the city of Taylor as a big team. So if I'll use TSX as an example. A lot of our staff, they'll work at the golf course during the summer, and then when the ice rink isn't as busy, and then we shift them over to TSX during the winter time, and then they toggle back and forth. So if we can help out other departments, and I know we lost a couple good staff members to the grounds crew, we're happy to help everyone out. We just look at the city of Taylor as a whole, and hey, if we've got a good guy here that maybe wants to do something else or progress his career and get away from golf and wants to do something, we're more than happy to help out. And we can speak to this person's good. Maybe
Sure.
stay away from this person
Oh, yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm always looking for good staff. I mean,
Tell us about your your brand new golf carts and the GPS systems that are within that program.
yeah, so very excited there. We got all brand new carts, and it's a more efficient battery. Most people, I would say, probably won't notice. Different color, but they're a lithium-based battery. So
Okay.
as busy as those two courses are, we're constantly have to, when Carl finishes 18 holes, we have to get that cart cleaned out and put it right back out for another 18 holes.
Okay.
Pretty much 7 days a week. So with your old lead-based batteries, it was very difficult to do that, to have a cart that would go 36 holes of golf in one day on one charge. So now we have a lithium battery, a little bit lighter too. This is the golf geek in me speaking, but the lighter batteries help the upkeep of the golf course. I mean, you put more weight on anyone's grass, it's just going to leave more marks and damage the course more. And then we have GPS systems that have a number of features to them that I'm very excited to get installed at both lakes and meadows. And you'll basically, for the person who doesn't understand what that is you'll have, call it like a tablet screen installed, fixed into the cart, that'll provide hole-by-hole layovers. And touch screen, you can find out what the distance is to the middle of the par 4 here, right in the middle of the fairway. Distances from there to the green, so it's really nice for the golfer. But from the back end, we get to see where every cart is on the golf course. If there's any pace of play issues, we can message carts. We're looking to do we're in the process of trying to get a food and beverage delivery system, and there's a number of other really nice features that these GPS systems offer. And I feel that these two courses, we want to create more of a high-end feel, and that's something you see at some really nice courses, and it really, again, helps us on the back end be able to manage our operation, but also provide a little kick back to the golfers, if you will.
Which is fantastic. That's what it's all about, right?
Right.
Service industry. When you made your last appearance on this show, you had brought up your kind of next major renovation program, which was going to be kind of an unexciting thing, but a very needed thing, and that bunker renovation. Can you explain where you're at with that and where you're headed?
So we are anticipating a 25 is to start that project at the end of 2025.
Okay.
Not as soon as we would have liked, but the golf boom affected that greatly because courses started making a lot more money, and now there's room for capital improvements. While these they're really good golf course contractors, they're booked out for a little bit, and we're going to be patient. We know it's something that needs to get done. They're doing some other updates. The major portion of that is the bunker renovation, which is very much needed. It's just time. The courses have been around for 25 to 30 years now, and there's new technology that's going to make the bunkers better, allow water to pass through. You get a heavy rainfall. The water doesn't pool up in the bunkers, and the rocks don't wash to the top. So yeah, it's going to have a nice look to it because it's going to have a kind of a different whiter sand color, new shaping to the bunkers, and a couple other renovation pieces that are involved in the project. But yeah, it's going to be a major overhaul for both golf courses.
Now, this is mainly renovation of the existing bunkers. You're not really talking about adding bunkers or anything like that, or does that come at some point?
We actually are looking to subtract some bunkers.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
We're not going to add any bunkers. There will be some bunkers that get a little bit larger. That won't be well received with some of the golfers, but yeah, a lot of the bunkers some of them are being taken out that really, in my opinion, serve no purpose.
Okay.
And that's also what the architect is saying too. Same architect that the Arthur Hills company, they originally did the golf courses, so we're working directly with them, and it's kind of neat to pick their brain, and they go through the original design, and hearing why they did this, why they put a bunker there, why this is the green was this. It's really interesting, but yeah, they support the whole thing, and we've been working directly with them. They're our design consultation, and then we believe we have a company that we're pretty much locked in with to get this thing going at the end of 2025.
Let's talk about something that you are directly involved in. That's golf lessons, whether it's private lessons, group lessons, playing lessons. You guys run a lot of club fittings out of the pro shop. Your job is much more than just opening the gates and letting golfers tee off, right?
Oh yeah. It's it makes the days go by quick. I love this business. I'm happy I got into it. But yeah, you meet the cool thing I think is just meeting new people all the time, and I love public golf for that reason. Meeting new people and realizing what a small world downriver is, right? But yeah, I'm doing private lessons, a lot of group lessons now. I get a lot of new golfers that maybe don't feel so comfortable coming out on their own with a PGA professional instructor and nervous about their experience with the game of golf. And I want to encourage someone to come out with a couple friends, do a group lesson. We got the junior camp coming up that we've been doing it's been growing year after year. That's in the middle of July 14th through, is it the 15th through 19th? July 15th through 19th?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, that Monday through Friday. So that's a good program that we try to incorporate every aspect of golf in 4 days, and then on day 5 we let them loose, let them out of the nest, and they get to play golf on Friday of that week. So it's a fun camp. And club fittings, I'm a Ping certified fitter. So yeah, I'm constantly fitting people for clubs and using new technology to best fit their game. And the city of Taylor was gracious enough to get TrackMan units that we use for the simulators during the winter time.
Sure.
But during the summertime, I use that a lot in my teaching, that it provides very valuable data for whether it's lessons or club fittings to go, okay, we want to optimize Carl's golf swing, so here's the data to back it up, and not just put my opinion on it. There's fact-based data to back what I'm doing. And yeah, I've been staying pretty busy with those lessons. So again, good to meet new people and hopefully help as many golfers as possible. My goal is to allow them to enjoy the game more. That's kind of my motto. Let them enjoy the game more. We don't need to get too technical, but I feel like everyone has an opportunity to get a little bit better at this game.
You've worked in a lot of different golf environments. Private versus public courses. What's the advantages, the disadvantages? Do you have a preference?
I've worked at both, and I really like public for the reasons I mentioned. Okay. You just meet so many new people. Private courses, there's a lot of people asking for you all the time. They want to know, Alec is their solution to every golf-related issue, where I like to empower my staff to a certain degree, and I kind of say, like, hey, if nobody knows who I am, that means my staff, I want to push it on to my staff. My staff's the one that does all the work, and we've got two great, it's collectively Taylor Golf, but between Lakes and Meadows, we've got two great teams, and I want to empower them to do everything that they do, and they all do such a great job. But yeah, public golf is awesome because you're constantly, that's 250 people a day on a busy day at each course, so 500 people. That's just golfing, so not including the restaurant upstairs. You meet so many new people, and old friends come through the door. I mean, from high school that or played hockey with back in the day. It's so fun to just, oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in years, but I saw their name on the tee sheet. I saw some buddies on Sunday, and yeah, it's just constant. Just constantly seeing new people, and I enjoy that every day. It's like every day is a new day.
Well, which is fun.
Right.
Which is a blast. Golf outings are a big part of your schedule. How are they going at both these courses? I'm assuming, am I wrong to make the assumption that Meadows is literally a course made for golf outings versus Lakes, or am I stepping too far?
I personally agree. I think Meadows is a fantastic outing golf course. But I mean, we're both planning to do a ton of golf outings this year, well over last year, and increased demand for those Saturday, Sunday golf outings. We're basically filled up for outings for the season. But to your point, like Meadows is a fun golf outing course because you've got drivable par fours for some, reachable par fives, good par threes. It's a really fun course. Everyone's having fun when they're making birdies on the golf course. So there's definitely more birdies to be made.
Tee boxes are a little bit closer together.
Yeah, that's a good point too. You can holler at your buddy over here.
Right. Which there are a lot of that goes on. That's for sure. You guys. Well, wait a minute. Before we get off of the outings, average golf outing. What's it going to cost you? Say I want to do it. What would I be?
So base price at Taylor Meadows is going to be $75. That's going to, I mean, that's a pretty good golf outing there too, because what that includes is there's not a breakfast portion of that, but you get hot dog, chips and pop at the turn at $75 a player. You get hot dog, chips and pop at the turn. 18 holes with cart. You get the dinner buffet after. That's a pretty well-rounded golf outing. I'm probably missing a couple things there, but this, we love to talk about the service side of that too. Meadows does a great job. They're a well-oiled machine with outings that, you see their bag drop. They got the tent all set up, and you won't touch your golf bag at Taylor Meadows. You just pull up the bag drop, they'll load you on, and you really won't even touch your golf bag if you're utilizing that service. Boom, they got it well oiled. And same thing at Lakes. It's we do a lot of them, so we get pretty efficient on the service side of it. And I really like to talk that up a little bit, because it's not something you see all the time, but really trying to push the whole service side of it. And at Lakes, you're looking at, we do a fundraiser outing package that's only available Monday through Thursday at $79 a player. But then you get into the weekends, the base price is $106 a player.
Okay.
And that would include lunch, dinner, 18 holes with cart, driving range included. That's inclusive of your taxes. That's inclusive of gratuity. So that's your all-in price. And I did a lot of research on what courses are providing, and we don't like to nickel and dime you, or extra tables, projectors, things like that. So that is your all-in price, and we feel we're pretty competitive because we've got a pretty full slate of outings. So and two great courses for them. So.
Do a lot of the outings, are they annual outings that come back all the time? And if they're annual bookings, do they switch courses very often, or do they usually stay on this?
Only a handful of them switch courses, but it's a lot of them. It's copy paste from year to year, and they've been coming to us for years. And I spend more time working on the new outings because you want to understand their expectations, and then the ones that have been coming to me for years. I got one coming up next week. Well, a couple next week that have been coming to us for years. Same as last year. Oh yeah, okay, sounds good. All right, we'll see you next week. What's your player count?
Do you get very many complaints?
There's always going to be complaints.
Okay.
But I would say they're to a minimum. I mean, at any course I've worked at, there's going to be some complaints, and I feel like we know how to handle. I've seen most of them. Most of the complaints, you can kind of expect, and you know how to answer to them, and. But it doesn't matter where you're at. You're going to have some complaints, and I'm pretty confident in the quality of the golf courses, the service we have to offer. The staff is well trained, so bring them on.
Let's shift a little bit to the restaurants and the banquet facilities. You have that at both courses, whether it's Lakeside Bar and Grill and their banquet center, or the Greenside Grill at Meadows and their banquet facilities. How is business going with those? I know you guys have done almost like several non-golf type things, whether it's comedy night or whatever. How do you view those?
It's been really great since I've started. I've watched it's trending in the right direction, and it is a difficult business because you want to be able to have a standalone restaurant business, and also a business that caters to the golfers. That's probably the easier side of it, is catering to the golfers. And then standalone business thing is, we're doing a lot of outside events to get people in that aren't necessarily golfers. The league guys, guys and gals, they go up there on their own, and we have a captured audience that are playing golf, but can we get more people just coming out from the just driving down Northline that want to come in and have lunch, have dinner? Outside events have been very successful. We just did a Mother's Day brunch that was hugely successful. Trivia nights on Friday nights, and we're doing a lot of fun stuff in the restaurants. We just did a new menu that I encourage everyone to go try. It's really got some more interesting stuff on there that I think will be very well received, and has been so far. So you should get over there and check out the new menus. And yeah, we're always trying to do new things to promote that restaurant, to make it more of a standalone business. I mean, the view of both places, to start at the Greenside Grill at Taylor Meadows, it's just a good spot. You could sit out on the back patio. If I had more free time, I might sit there all day and watch people come down 9 and harass them on the green, and you're on a covered patio there, and on a nice day, it's just a beautiful spot to sit. And then same thing at the Lake House Bar and Grill. You've got that wraparound porch sitting outside, and a beautiful view of the 9th hole, the driving range. You've got a 270-degree view upstairs there. It's wonderful.
Does each course's restaurant and banquet facility have kind of its own niche in your world of Taylor Golf? I mean, does the Meadows really function in those capacities for a certain faction of your customers, and then the Lakes for a different one, like weddings? Always going to go to Lakes?
I would say always. That's one thing I think I had to learn after my first year was there is 2 different clienteles between Meadows and Lakes.
Right.
That Meadows is more of a senior-driven golf course, and we've done some things to cater to the seniors over there, where Lakes is maybe not as many seniors. And there's going to be a lot more weddings there. Lakes has that terrace space down by the water. We have a nice water feature down there.
That's very pretty down there.
Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful spot for a wedding. And then I've walked a few weddings around, potential clients around, and I think you see their jaw hit the floor when you bring them down to that terrace area. They see that, and it's like, wow, this is a really good space for a wedding. So yeah, definitely more weddings over there, and a lot of golf outings at Meadows. But they still, Meadows does a lot of in-house events where they do the, they got the comedy show, which is a huge hit in the spring and the fall, and but maybe they lack that. Meadows lacks that, maybe that ceremony spot. I think is the issue over there. Is you don't really have a designated spot to do a ceremony.
It's interesting because I've even gone to fundraisers at Lakes where the veranda has been used in the late fall and early winter, and if it's done correctly, it's pretty cool down there. It can be warmed up. It's just a very, very pretty spot. No doubt about that. Golf really never gets old, even in the colder months for you guys. You guys have the TrackMan simulators at the Meadows. How has that program worked out? I know it seemed to increase incrementally, I guess, from year to year to year. Have you seen kind of a leveling off, or what have you seen with that program?
Truthfully, I've seen that level off, and the main reason why, in my opinion, is just more competition in that space. So with the likes of 5-Iron Golf downtown or X Golf in Woodhaven, there's just more competition in that space. The thing we really stick to, and I think we've got a good market for our customer base, is that we have very competitive pricing, and we have the TrackMan units. TrackMan is the gold standard. If you watch Golf Channel, TrackMan is the gold standard for launch monitors, and we have 4 of those. So if you're looking for accuracy and you're trying to get really good data and build your golf swing in the wintertime, Taylor Meadows is the place to do it, because you've got track, and other places have adopted the TrackMan. They're not cheap units by any means, but and then I do a lot of teaching during the wintertime too, so it's a lot of planning to get ready for the spring and giving you practice routines, so you know exactly what to work on to hopefully better your game coming into the spring. But yeah, our prices are very competitive. We got a very unique space over there at Taylor Meadows, and it's we do very well with it, and I think competition, like I said, has kind of plateaued that space a little bit. But we're always looking, you know, we're getting involved in the tournament space a little bit. So.
I was going to mention that because since you've taken over golf, you've kind of jumped in that cold weather month TrackMan area, and hey, why don't we try this? Why don't we try that? And it's really kind of intriguing when you're talking about you're programming these different courses from all over the country, all over the world, and you're basically playing kind of tournament golf. It's kind of cool.
It's fun, and TrackMan itself, they run weekly tournaments that you're playing people all across the world. So they'll run a week-long tournament, and they're a lot of fun. You just, again, you're playing. I believe I haven't placed yet. Cross your fingers, but they'll send you prizes and stuff if you place in the top 5 or so in the world. But you're competing against a lot of people. But the nice thing is, you know, Alec plays in his grouping over here, where Carl.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, he's back here a little bit. But you're playing against like handicapped people, and of course all over the world, like you said. So it's just a lot of fun. And the nice thing with TrackMan is they're constantly updating that software. I watched them really do some nice updates from last year, going into the 2023 off season, wintertime, 2023, 2024. They did some really nice updates. And some really fun games for the kids too, which I haven't seen at other simulator spaces. That got some juniors that come to me for lessons, and there's some great kids games that they come in and they cannot wait to jump on that and basically hitting. You know, one game is hitting golf balls to destroy a bunch of, like a junkyard, destroy cars.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I know one of my little guys. He absolutely cannot wait to get on that and do it. It's a blast.
Is there in the foreseeable future ever going to be a time when Taylor Golf needs to add to its simulator collection? I mean, what do you have? You have 4, right?
Yeah, we have 4.
Okay.
You know, we'd have to change the space up, so you're limited to the 4 spaces. You know, it does take up a lot of space when you get that full enclosure, and you need enough space to. You got the launch monitor space to hit, the enclosure, and the screen. So it does take up a lot of space, and you know, there's certainly some opportunities. We got a lot of valuable resources throughout the city. Wouldn't put it past us to maybe try and get a few more, or even update the space or expand on it. But yeah, it's really a fun thing, and I encourage you know, newer golfers to go out and give it a shot. It's a little less pressure, and you're not forced to get around the golf course in 2 hours time. Make the turn if you're a beginner golfer. You've got the space for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You play 1 hole, you play 30 holes, doesn't matter to us. We just want you to have fun.
I hear you. As a golf professional, you got a pretty keen eye for courses. How does Taylor's courses stack up to those around Michigan? I know I asked you that last year, and you were pretty adamant about between price point and everything else. Still feel that way?
I do. It's the value. I argue you take either one of those golf courses and you put them in, let's say Oakland County, you're able to capture a much higher greens fee rate, or down in Florida, I've worked down there. I've played courses that are double the price tag, but not anywhere near the golf course.
Okay.
So I think for a value, these 2 courses are fantastic. We've got 2 great superintendents. And they're 2 very different golf courses too, but the conditions, those guys they work their butts off to make those courses in good shape with the amount of volume that's going through the course. You got to remember, those guys, they have a very small window to maintain those, because once those gates open, it's nonstop all day long. So finding that time to make sure that course is in good shape, and they do a great job with it. The greens are and both courses are in fantastic shape, and I can't compliment the staff and the superintendents and their crew enough, and I'm very excited to work for the city, blessed to work for the city, and I hope to stay here a long time. It's just two great courses, two great atmospheres, and feel like I found my home.
Your wife works, you work, you've got 3 small kids. You're a busy guy, okay? Your whole family's busy. Yet, golf's been your life. You get to play much on many?
I got 5 minutes between lessons, so 55-minute lesson. I've got 5 minutes between lessons to hit a few balls, but yeah, on a night where maybe the lessons didn't fill up and it's I've got a gap from 7 to 8. We'll go play. Good time to go play a quick 9 holes. You try to keep the game in shape, and I know a lot of the Taylor employees have been asking about the league we did last year, so we'll get that going here June 7th. We're looking to start that back up, and that'll be an opportunity for me to get back out and play on a Friday night, 6 o'clock, play a quick 9 holes. So
without taking it too seriously.
Right? Yes. Scramble format, have fun, and mix it up with some of the staff around the city.
Okay, last question. When it comes to Lakes of Taylor Meadows, if I could grant you one golf-related wish, okay, what would it be?
Whoa. So on an improvement, are we talking?
Anything you want.
I'd like a hole-in-one. I still
like
search it.
You've never had a hole-in-one?
Never had a hole-in-one.
Really?
Just let me have a hole-in-one at Lakes or Meadows.
Oh
that'd be cool.
Goodness. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. But that is a quirky issue, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. But a hole-in-one would be you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious!
On a good day where we're out having fun and in a foursome, don't want to do it by myself. That's a nightmare.
You gotta have the right crowd.
You gotta have some witnesses.
Oh my goodness gracious! Well, that about ties this episode up. And Sammy, Joey, we're going to find Alec here a hole-in-one somewhere along the way. Thanks to Alec Grant for joining us on this edition of Taylor Newsbreak. Been a great discussion. For Sam Rickert and Joe Camilleri behind the scenes, I'm Carl Zymak. Have a good day, and don't forget to join us on the next Taylor Newsbreak. Plus, get your rear end out to one of our golf courses.